Chapter 1 of Patience Worth, A Psychic Mystery, by Casper Yost. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Lynne Thompson. Patience Worth, A Psychic Mystery, by Casper Yost. Chapter 1 The Coming of Patience Worth. Upon a July evening in 1913, two women of St. Louis sat with a Ouija-board upon their knees. Some time before this a friend had aroused their interest in this unfathomable toy, and they had since whiled away many an hour with the inscrutable meanderings of the heart-shaped pointer. But, like thousands of others who had played with the instrument, they had found it, up to this date, but little more than a source of amused wonder. The messages which they had laboriously spelled out were only such as might have come from the subconsciousness of either one or the other, or, at least, were no more strange than innumerable communications which have been received through the reading of the Ouija-board. But upon this night they received a visitor. The pointer suddenly became endowed with an unusual agility, and with great rapidity presented this introduction: "Many moons ago I lived. Again I come. Patience Worth my name." The women gazed round-eyed at each other, and the board continued: "Wait, I would speak with thee. If thou shalt live, then so shall I. I make my bread by thy hearth. Good friends, let us be merry. The time for work is past. Let the tabby drowse, and blink her wisdom to the fire-log." "How quaint that is!" one of the women exclaimed. "Good Mother Wisdom is too harsh for thee," said the board, "and thou shouldst love her only as a foster-mother." Thus began an intimate association with Patience Worth that still continues, and a series of communications that in intellectual vigour and literary quality are virtually without precedent in the scant imaginative literature quoted in the chronicles of psychic phenomena. The personality of Patience Worth, if personality it may be called, so impressed itself upon these women at the first visit that they got pencil and paper and put down not only all that she transmitted through the board, but all the questions and comment that elicited her remarks, and at every meeting since then a verbatim record has been made of the conversation and the communications. These records have accumulated until they have filled several volumes of type-written pages, and upon them, and upon the writer's personal observations of the workings of the phenomena, this narrative is based. They include conversations, maxims, epigrams, allegories, tales, dramas, poems, all the way from sportive to religious, and even prayers, most of them of no little beauty, and of a character that may reasonably be considered unique in literature. The women referred to are Mrs. John H. Curran, wife of the former Immigration Commissioner of Missouri, and Mrs. Emily Grant Hutchings, wife of the Secretary of the Tower Grove Park Board in St. Louis, both ladies of culture and refinement. Mrs. Curran is a young woman of nervous temperament, bright, vivacious, ready of speech. She has a taste for literature, but is not a writer, and has never attempted to write anything more ambitious than a personal letter. Mrs. Hutchings, on the other hand, is a professional writer of skill, and it was to her quick appreciation of the quality of the communications that the starting of the record is due. It was soon apparent, however, that it was Mrs. Curran who was the sole agent of transmission, for the communications came only when she was at the board, and it mattered not who else sat with her. During the first months only Mrs. Curran and Mrs. Hutchings sat, but gradually the circle widened, and others assisted Mrs. Curran. Sometimes as many as 5 or 6 would sit with her in the course of an evening. Mr. Curran has acted as amanuensis, and recorded the communications at most of the sittings, Mrs. Curran's mother, Mrs. Mary E. Pollard, occasionally taking his place. The Ouija-board is a rectangular piece of wood, about 16 inches wide by 24 inches in length and half an inch thick. Upon it the letters of the alphabet are arranged in 2 concentric arcs, with the 10 numerals below.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?